The Little Black Book of Innovation by Scott Anthony. I hope to join Scott eventually and be a VC. I skipped the first two chapters. They're pretty much an overview about what the book's about, and he talks a lot about innovative companies and what they're doing. I'm only about halfway through, which is why this is a partial review. My first favorite part of the book is, you can see this is table 1.2, where he gives an overview of the Masters of Innovation, their seminal work, which are all books, and key innovation lessons. He breaks it down in just like one or two sentences. My favorite one is the systematic learning of new skills, and the second one would be Bill James' counterintuitive patterns, looking at old data in new ways. The problem with that is you have to find a data point and come up with like an algorithm or a multilinear regression, if you remember that from probability and statistics, if you've had that class. My second favorite part is some of the questions. It gives your subconscious something to hold on to. Your mind works in answering for you in answering questions and in pictures. He doesn't have any real pictures in here, but there are a few graphs. I'm just not sure if he's aware of that fact. My next favorite part is the table 4.2. If you can see that. But it is laying the foundation for innovations, the 7 deadly sins, and it's pride, sloth, gluttony, lust, envy, wrath, and greed. The first one is knowing how to avoid it is knowing how the customers measure quality. Sloth, I have a note here, apply changing cast. Exactly what I have that for. Release your inner Einstein. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. I'll have to come back to that if I think of what I have it here for. Gluttony, I have a note. Shoestring testing. I think it's $100 startup or startup for under $100 is a good book on that subject. Lust, how to avoid it is doing fast innovation. He says fast efforts. When focusing on innovation, remember that destruction often precedes creation. I think it always precedes creation. So you have to destroy something in order to form something new. And the best example that comes to this mind is Steve Jobs when he came back to Apple. He destroyed most of the products the company was making. If I remember correctly, it was 450, and he narrowed it down to 10 and said we're going to do these well, and took his 10 best people, or maybe 40 best people, and formed 4 10-person teams. Which that leads me to a good book you can listen to online, which is I can't think of it right now. Let me look that up. The Rich Witch. You can go to richwitch.com and listen to it now for free. Awesome book. And that, I think, what was really happening there is what Dale Carnegie called forming mastermind groups inside Apple, and that formed the company as we know it today. Envy's the next one. Actively celebrate both the core business and the new growth efforts. This is the mental process is your best growth is going to come through gratitude for your people that have made the products that have created the company that you have today, and you need to reward the efforts at attempts of new expressions of growth. This is creating new products that you think is going to do well. So many of them fail. You still need to praise the team that are making the attempt at growth for your business. Wrath is the next one, and how to avoid it is reward behavior, not outcomes. This is similar. Um, I don't know what this is. I think it's do. I have a note. Do continual attempts and stay positive when it comes to outcomes, whatever the outcome is. I have a first cousin that is I think she's doing age research now. She was working on hereditary birth defects and cancer at Duke, and she had a team that was giving her a large amount of funding for her department in the biochemical engineering department at Duke, and they wanted results, and they said she wasn't getting them fast enough, so they did. She showed me her lab, and they did stuff like bombarded mice cells with different kinds of radiation, froze them, heat them up, that kind of stuff to get fast results. And they apparently they liked what they did. She did because they gave her 10 times the funding the next go around. But the experiments that her and her team have at that point have formulated were taking months, if not years, to yield results. And apparently the funders weren't happy that it was taking that long. I don't remember exactly who the funders were. And the last one is greed. Be patient for growth. This is a process. And impatient for results, which kind of goes. Completed assumptions is what I have for results. That you get some kind of definitive outcome for the attempts at the new outcomes or the growth efforts. And I think that's as far as I got, so I'm going to leave off there. When I read the next section, I'll post that. I'm also going to do the Steve Jobs book. I have read it once, and I'm going to do a review per chapter because I have a lot of questions that are unanswered that I'm hoping somebody knows about, and I want to give you a breakdown and an overview. The book is very long, and in spots it seems to go really in depth in his life, and other places it's extremely shallow, just glossed over whole years. But it's a very good autobiography. I recommend that as well if you're curious about innovation like I am. Until next time.